way. So this type of exercise is very important, maybe even a little bit more important than the push-ups, which everybody does automatically. Put your arms up over the bench first and pull yourself up as far as you can. Use a coffee table or I don't think you could use a chair safely.
Use your mother's best coffee table.
Yeah, use your mother's best coffee table. I didn't say that. And pull yourself up, and up, and up. Now try it with your hands up over the end. Up, and up. You're holding your breath or you couldn't run. What? You're holding your breath or you couldn't run.
I'm holding everything.
Pick your bottom up too.
Yeah, this is the difficult one. Yeah. Should you have your knees slightly bent, Maggie, for this one, do you think?
I try to come up onto my heels.
Yeah.
And I have my feet all the way through. I don't know whether I bend them. I guess I don't. I straighten up so I'm arched up.
Yeah.
Okay, roll out from under. Want to put the benches back? Paula, do you do things like that in school?
No, but like we have 34 kids in our class, and we have tests like, for physical fitness. There's something like 20 girls in our class, and we had to do pull-ups the other day. And only 3 girls passed.
And say that, only three?
Only 3.
Only 3?
Out of our
Look what we're doing to our kids. 3 out of 20 girls in the class could do a pull-up.
1 pull-up.
That is disgraceful. That's really disgraceful.
At that age.
That's terrible. At that age where they should be climbing trees and really in good condition to be in that shape. That's terrible. I hope you were one of them who
We did the
could.
most exercise of any class in the whole school.
You were one of them who could, I'm sure.
Hooray.
Okay, lean back on your bottom. You know this one. This is one of my favorites again. Legs up and roll from side to side. If you're just beginning, put your arms back this way and just roll your bottom. If that's hard, bring your knees in and roll this way. But one way or another, do just a little bit. John, you're doing it again. You're moving your legs side to side this way instead of rolling right up onto your hip. Roll way up onto your hip. Just up onto one side. Way up over onto one side. That's better. That's the way. Don't just let your legs swing back and forth this way. Really come up onto your hip. Turn your feet right over and come up onto your hip. This is a great one for all your abdominal muscles.
It sure is. And your hips and your waist.
Right.
Everything.
Hey, lady, that's enough.
What else? We want to show you off. Even your neck is somehow.
Oh, yes. In fact, on the first stage of the sit-ups that I've shown you before, you always use your neck muscles. That's part of the movements of the spine, too. Everything really kind of works together. You can't afford to neglect any part. And what we mostly do is neglect the trunk and take care of our arms and legs when we do that. Most of the time, we don't even do that. Over on your belly. Another old favorite.
Of who?
Remember, if you've got a bad back, be very, very careful how you do this. In fact, if you've got a bad back, you probably shouldn't do it at all. And everybody, every now and then, you'll run into a bad day. If you do, just don't exercise that day. If you feel rotten, especially if you're beginning to get sick, you can always tell it because your body just doesn't behave right. After a while, when you keep exercising, you get to know your body very well, and you can tell immediately when you're getting sick. Arms out. Remember, if you've got a bad back, don't do this. You don't even try it unless you just gently push yourself up this way. The rest of you, if you're in good shape, throw yourself up this way.
And your neck's down.
Yep, try and keep your legs down.
I'm sorry. Let's clap hands. Here comes Charlie.
Hard not to hold your breath, you know. So
Yeah, weightlifters always hold their breath before a strain, at the moment of strain.
Well,
Just at that one point, too.
again, even for weightlifters, if I remember my literature properly, they tell you not to, that it is not a good thing to do. I know it couldn't possibly be a good thing to do.
I believe you.
I'm glad.
You can convert athletics along the side.
Okay. This time, push up with your arms this way. Again, this isn't for bad backs. This is getting your back from the opposite end. Okay, what you do is as you roll down this way, you bend your knees and throw your feet up and try to throw them way up over your head. Okay, roll up, turn your face sideways so you can really
I see
get up.
why. Or it's one way to change your nose.
If you do get stiff the next day,
Oh, why? How?
then feel proud of yourself. It just means you've worked well. You're allowed to moan a little in between feeling proud of yourself, but really, you shouldn't do so much that you get terribly stiff.
But don't
But-
kill you, it make you stronger.
What?
But don't kill you, it make you
Right,
stronger.
right. If it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger.
Maggie, as a child, I could do all these things so beautiful, and then more than 25 years, I didn't do a thing. But now I try very hard to get all this back. Do you think it's the right aim?
Why not? Look at what you can do.
Yeah,
How
but
could
you
it
know, I
possibly
could-
be wrong?
Could you
A
know it?
rhetorical question.
All
for you
these
to-
things could really bad back.
I even broke my
Okay.
back once, and yet I can do so many of these things.
You broke your back?
Yeah.
Say that you broke your back.
Transverse process, and it's amazing what I can do now.
Yeah.
You know, never
It
thought
is
I'd do
amazing.
anything.
It's really great. In fact, that exercise you were doing when we started was really a great one for having a back in that kind of condition. Okay, sit up this way, and this is our nice stretching one that everybody likes. Put your hands over your feet this way with your knees bent, and now straighten your legs out. If you can't reach your toes, then reach your ankles and pull them up this way. And people with bad backs can do this. It's good for you, actually. It's a good stretch. Bend your knees if you can. Grab hold of your toes and stretch out all the way.
Yeah, well, that's where you should start. You've got long legs because you're growing fast.
Remember that you're not in competition with anybody but yourself. There's no sense in, disheartening yourself by competing with somebody else. Work by yourself if you need to and build yourself up until you feel comfortable to go out and do other things. But don't let yourself be embarrassed out of doing anything, because what you're doing is embarrassing yourself out of living. Again, reach over a little further and pull your heels up further.
I have several
If you
friends
can,
who
just a
say
little bit
once
at a
they
time.
get slim enough to look good in leotards, they'll start exercising.
Isn't that terrible?
Oh.
It's better to wear a sack and exercise now than to wait until you can look good in a leotard, because you're just not going to look good in a leotard no matter how slim you get unless you're nice and tight. And it's better to be fat and exercise than not to exercise at all. It really is. It's very
good.
important
It
exercise.
makes you feel so good. If
I
nothing
think
else.
it's actually more important than dieting.
dieting.
I
Yeah.
really do.
For your circulation.
Your
for everything.
circulation and your breathing, you just have to be in good condition.
Also, quite a lot of people complain that they don't have time.
Right.
But I think lunch hour, people who work, they could
That's
do it
right.
during their lunch
You can
hour.
walk.
I do.
Yeah, and besides, you miss a meal. Grab hold of your knees. And this is another one of those exercises to get the muscles across your shoulders here into good condition. It's a very important one. Grab your knees and inhale. And as you bear down, pull your knees in slowly. Really work hard to keep them from coming in, but let them come in slowly. And out again. And inhale. And bear down as you exhale and pull in. Let your breath out. By the way, if you have trouble when you start breathing fast and you don't feel like you're breathing comfortably, then always make your mouth small and blow out this way, because that makes it a lot more comfortable, a lot easier. We just found out the other day that when you're doing breathing exercises, you can't talk. Isn't that amazing? That's right. We had a very quiet show. Okay, let's do one thing for the next before
good.
we go into the
This helps
5
my
things.
dowager's hump.
Stretch your chin out forward and make circles all the way around. Keep your chin out.
Someone also told me to do this opening and closing your mouth like a goldfish.
Yeah. Shake your head a little. That works. You chew, but always sticking your chin out forward.
Yeah.
Okay? Up onto your feet. And first come down flat and up onto your toes. That's kind of a hard one to do, but try. This is a great one for your calves. It's also good for your bottom, but we have some others that are better for your bottom in a minute. But this is very good for your feet and your calves.
You have to balance.
Yeah, it's good for your balance too. Beginners, if you have trouble, put your hands on the floor and come up and down this way. You may have to pick your bottom up a little to come up and down, but anyway, you can do it.
I wish the listeners could hear the snapple crack. pop,
Yeah, I'm glad they can.
Balances them.
Okay, now put your hands in between your legs, knees a little apart. This really works better if you get your legs a little further apart. Pick your bottom up a little way And now bounce your bottom up and down. This is a great one for your bottom and your thighs, and you'll probably feel it.
For weeks.
Already. Already now it's difficult.
I can feel my knee.
Yeah? Be careful.
Yeah.
Michael has a bad knee. Be very, very gentle with it. Move more slowly. Don't bounce like that, please. Okay, now over to one side.
I get into this position skiing a lot.
Yeah. How do you manage that?
I don't.
Where are
It
the
just
ski
happens.
poles?
Exactly. The next position is in 4 pieces.
And over.
This must be good.
Can you
for
feel
some-
that?
It's excruciating as a matter of fact.
Okay, put your hands in the middle and come up and down again a little further with your bottom. And over again.
Oh my
I bet you can feel that one.
Maggie,
terrible,
you're
right?
a hero.
I told you they were the best ones. They may feel like the worst ones, but they're really the best ones. Come up.
Underneath, they're the best ones.
Yeah, and run. You really need things for circulation, respiration. If you're just beginning, you can walk in place. If you're a little further along, you can run in place. You can run outside, or you can run really fast. Remember, it's important to do the best ones as often as you can, and always slow down afterwards. But, you know, really, it's amazing. You really do sometimes just turn off. This is a good turn off.